Okay, and here's your standard run from that day. And you have a good lead out with her, that's good. Because you'll need it. Oh, and I had a hard time, I was too close here, so I had kind of a hard time getting that in the video. She's got nice, reliable weaves. That's awesome. That was good how you early they cued that. Wide there. My dogs went really wide there too. That was a nice turn out of the chute. Really nice. Okay, that was good. There's just a few bobbles there. It was that same tunnel problem. This is nice. Oh, I see part of the problem here. Okay, so it wasn't that you pulled off. You should have, while she was in that tunnel, you're waiting for her to come out, and you should have just got running down this line. I mean, not like you're not going to look back and you're not going to support the tire, but you could have easily been up at the tire when she came out of the tunnel. And what happens is because of where you're standing, and this is a long tunnel, and she's a fast dog, and like this much of the tunnel is straight, so she comes out of the tunnel and she has to go around you, and she kind of goes a little wide sometimes anyways. So she goes around you, and so then she ends up taking the tire angled like this, which is not pointing her at the right end of the tunnel. Okay? And then because you're not ahead of her and you're sort of even with her, she just comes right into you. So if instead of standing there like you are now, if you just started running this way with your arm up and looking back, she still might have wowed out, but when she saw you running like this, she would have straightened herself out and come through the tire more straight. Okay, so let's go back and watch. Watch her path. And you even wow out. You see that? You're standing here, and when you start moving again, you even do this, and she just mirrors you, and so then she ends up sort of slicing the tire a little bit, and it just sets her on a wrong line for the correct end of the tunnel. Yep. So that's what that was. It wasn't because you pulled off laterally like we were kind of talking about at dinner. And whenever this dog goes into a tunnel, Connie, you need to get moving. I mean, maybe you don't, that doesn't mean you take off and forget the dog and don't work the next obstacle, but you need to take that opportunity to get ahead of her because she's fast, and there's a few places on the course where you can get ahead of her, and this was definitely one of them. This was like a super long tunnel. They were in there for a long time. And so, but you know, when I put my dogs in, I tried to run out here, so when they came out, they saw me next to the tire, and they saw me going in a path like this. And so there's no question that they would take the tire. I mean, you know, they come out and see you standing next to it, they're going to take it. But then that allows you to get running down to the correct end of the tunnel. Okay, and she's got good contacts. You make her do it. It's perfect. Really good. Contacts are an easy thing to lose with a fast dog if you get loose with your criteria, but you're not, so that's awesome. And again, she sends ahead of you beautifully to the weaves. Really nice. And again, kind of like on the jumpers video, if you think you can pull, this is another case where you could have gotten ahead of her in the weaves just by keep driving straight ahead. You don't have to pull off laterally, because the sooner you can get down this line to cue this turn over here, the better. I mean, you actually got a pretty nice turn with your front cross, but it would help you out because, see, now she's already passing you again. But you cued it nice and early, and she responded. You put that arm up really early, and I have the sound down, but you may have been calling her too. And you can see she's taking this jump pretty straight, and her ears are up, and she's sort of looking at the double, but I think by the time she lands, she knows that she's supposed to come to you. So the cross could have been done, could have been a little bit tighter, but it was pretty good. Everything can always be tighter, right, and faster, especially when we watch it in slow motion after the fact. So now she goes really wide after this jump, which all my dogs did too. And it's just because we didn't cue it very good. We didn't cue this turn. So the the stride before they take off, which is this stride right here that she's doing, she needs to know she's turning this way. And you're still forward, your shoulders are forward, your motion is forward, and your inside arm is up. So everything you're telling her to do is just telling her to go forward. Here she's taking off, and you're just starting to pull away laterally. So it was just late, and like I said, mine were too, and I think part of it is because we were stopped on the contact worrying about that, and then once they're stopped on the contact, we pretty much had to, when we released them, we pretty much had to cue a turn like immediately, and I think it was easy to do it late. But you get her back on the teeter, and she's got amazing contacts. It's really good. And your outside arm goes up before she goes in. This is awesome. This is why you get a nice turn when she comes out. She comes out looking for you. Okay, and then all that happened here is see how you're stepping back? And then you get going, and watch your shoulders. Your shoulders are rotating around this way. And you actually cross your right foot over, so it gives the indication that you're moving in that leftish direction, and that's all she needs. That's where she thinks she's going. So we can watch it again. So you're backing up that way, crossing your foot over. Yep, she just thought you were going, to the left. It's nice though. She's a great dog, and you're a good handler.